what do you say is wrong with this bill?
Samson, thank you again. And as we like to say in Ghana, good morning to your cherished listeners. I don't want to deviate from the script. We are here for very serious business. You pointed out that different groups all seem to be in the same meeting. And of course, we were not. I think it's very interesting that we are all reading the bill in the same way. There are three things that we are saying. The bill, and most importantly, the bill is unconstitutional because the Constitution, and I will let Kojo, who's a lawyer, speak more about that, does not give the president the right to make these kinds of appointments at the most senior governance level of the university. And there was a good reason for that, to allow the universities to engage in the kind of business that they engage in without being politicized. Okay, that's the first thing we want to say. And I think we will need to go into details with all of this.
Of course, we have,
we have a lot of time
for this.
The second thing is that the bill is unnecessary. The government has given two reasons, purportedly, why it needs this bill. One being that universities have veered from their core business, which is actually not factual. And we can also go into what is happening with all modern universities of good repute. And we want to
interrogate that question about you veering from your core discipline, because there are examples around the place. People are asking, why is a science and technology university
we will get into
all
that.
of a sudden, you know, doing so many business courses and law and all of that?
We'll get into that. And I think we also owe it to parents and students to let them understand how higher education is operating globally today.
Right.
And let me just slip this in and say that Ghanaian universities, Ghanaian public universities, especially our older universities, have been the envy of many of our colleagues on the continent. Last year I was at a meeting in Nairobi, and Kenyans were lamenting that with a similar bill, which is now law, their hands are tied in so many ways. And they were like, oh, we really envy you guys in Ghana. Anyway, so we are saying that the bill seeks to fix something that is not broken.
Okay.
And indeed, the third thing that we are saying is that the bill will introduce a whole new set of problems that we are currently not grappling with. And Samson, if I may say, I have been teaching at the University of Ghana since 1989. In my time, this is my 31st year, I have worked under 7 different vice chancellors, starting with Prof. Akosua and now Professor Owusu. I have worked on council. I have been appointed to council twice. I worked, when I joined council, Mr. Ishmael Yamson was the chairman of council. I spent most of my time on council with Mr. Tony Otinjesi as chairman of council. And as I was leaving, Professor Dateba was chairman of council. This is the highest governing body of the university. And it worked. It worked. How many scandals have people heard coming out of the university? If we compare the University of Ghana to other public institutions in the country, and we can take the other universities as well, how many scandals have we heard? Maybe one in 5 years, another one here. We have weathered many storms very efficiently with our governance structure. The other complaint that the government makes is that about misspending.
Yes.
We have a governance structure that some of us even find onerous. Committee after committee after committee. The internal auditor will write to you about what we think are minute things that keep us from moving our work forward faster. And the Auditor General asks us for our statements of account. So there are already existing pieces of legislation to deal. The criminal code is there. The Minister of Finance can demand from the universities explanations. So this is unnecessary. And indeed, I cannot speak for all the universities, but I think for most of our older public universities, this accusation of financial malfeasance is unfounded. I do not think that the universities are worse than other public institutions. Indeed, I think that our reputation for good accounting is much better than many of the public institutions. And the layers of accountability from within all the way to the Auditor General are very, very strict. I think it's important to underscore the fact that universities are not seeking to not be financially accountable. We are seeking political independence. I also want to say that to suggest that the universities have had more financial scandals than other public institutions is actually, with all due respect, it's ridiculous.
Okay.
We can count the number of financial scandals in our universities' histories of 60 and so many years, probably on one or two hands. Take our own ministries, who should then oversee us. Year after year, we listen to the Auditor General, and we see the financial scandals that are there. I think you would, our systems are very well regulated, and as Professor Odro has said, if the regulator, the NCTE, sees something going on and doesn't do it, I don't think that adding another piece of legislation is going to fix that, and I just wanted to put that in quickly.